What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Figure Hideout. Today we are taking a look at the Diecast Iron Man Mark II 2.0. With this release, all 6 versions of the original Iron Man suits, except for the Mark I, are now standardized in terms of body proportions. The testing scene with the Mark II is probably the one I have rewatched the most out of all the Marvel movies. I mentioned just in my last video about how blown away I was by the suit-up scene of the Mark VII, but comparing it to the Mark II, I have to say this is the GOAT, and period. Especially with the energetic background music, driving with the top down. Oh, I'm gonna have goosebumps just thinking about it. The Diecast Mark II 1.0 is now a 7-year-old relic. Before that, Hot Toys also made a Armor Unleashed version and the OG plastic version. Each Mark II figure was a collector's grail at the time, with prices that were pretty intimidating. After the release of the Diecast Mark III 2.0, this new version of Mark II came out just as expected. It comes with the best silver electroplating effect we have seen so far, and even though it shares the same base mold as the Mark III, there are a lot of changes and new features, plus a brand new head sculpt. And now, let's dive in and appreciate this silver beauty from 2008. First, the packaging. It follows the same style as the other Diecast series figures. It comes in a brown shipper with an arc reactor symbol. Inside, there's a gray toned box with a big, slick image on the front, looking very sharp. And inside, the top tray contains the main figure, neck color, hands, and the Tony Stark head sculpt. The lower tray has the armor pieces, a light-up base, and some mechanical accessories. In terms of height and weight, this figure is the same as the Diecast Mark III 2.0, 33 cm tall and weighing around 1 kg. It feels very heavy in hands, so be sure to secure the stand stably when displaying it. For a detailed review of the Diecast Mark III, I didn't make an English version, but you can check out the link from my other channel. One of the biggest selling point of this figure is the newly upgraded silver electroplating effect. Visually is a huge improvement over the previous versions. Both the texture and sheen are much closer to what we have seen in the movie. Recently, with the release of the limited edition black and gold Mark VII and the red and chrome version Mark III, we can see that Hot Toys was using those two as a test run for this one, as they share a lot of things in common. Over 90% of this figure is covered in a mirror-like electroplating finish, but it doesn't have the blinding shine of those limited editions. It's bright but not overwhelming, and the plastic parts have a much better metallic feel than the previous versions as well. One unique detail of the Mark II is the rivet holes, which Hot Toys made them 3-dimensional, adding some black wash to make them even more obvious. The same treatment was applied to other linear spots too, giving them more depth. Another special feature of this Mark II is the little oxidized effect added to the edges of the torso and limbs. These look very natural and realistic, but they are not real oxidation, because they are very even in shape and positions. You can tell they are artificial. I really like this effect. It adds a good sense of realism that makes it feel even more authentic, compared to the flawless surface of the limited editions. In the movie, if you look closely in 4K, you can catch a hint of this too. One thing that could be improved is the consistency of the shine across different parts. For example, the faceplate is noticeably shinier than the rest of the helmet. And the shoulder armors and biceps are also shinier. This is even more noticeable when compared to the oxidized sections. Another issue is that the elbow joints and hands have the biggest texture difference from the rest of the body. Since the hands are made from soft rubber, they don't have the same mirror-like finish. You can see there is a noticeable contrast with the hand armors. So, in summary, there are 3 main finishes: the super shiny, the slightly matte, and the non-reflective. The proportions vary from most to least, and while up close you can tell these differences. When you look at the figure as a whole, the colors actually blend together pretty well. Visually, there is no problem at all. In terms of inner structures, this lobster waist, newly designed torso, and lower legs with light-up features are still there. The chest armor can be removed, and the rib armors have some articulation. Additionally, Hot Toys fixed the problem of loose shoulder armors that a lot of people point out on the Mark III. This one is nice and tight. And this time, the spoilers are pre-installed on the back, so you don't have to attach them yourself like for the Mark III. As for accessories, it comes with a pair of fists, a pair with articulated fingers, and a pair of repulsor blasting hands. Then we have the brand new Tony Stark head sculpt. Out of the recent releases, Mark 6 2.0, Suit Up version Mark 7, and this one, I'd say this is the best head sculpt among the three. The detail in the skin and hair is top-notch, especially the hair, which has probably the most complex layering of any Tony Stark head sculpt. In terms of the facial likeness, it's pretty much same as what we've seen on the official images, and you can tell Hot Toys aimed to capture a younger Tony. Compared to the battle damage Mark 85 or the new Mark 6, this one definitely looks younger. Based on certain scenes in the movie, the level of wrinkles on his face also match up. About the facial features, I think the head sculpt looks the best from the side, especially from the left. The front view is more subjective. Some people like it and some don't. Many collectors have also pointed out that this head looks similar to the one from the quarter scale Mark 6. So when that one releases, we will have to do a comparison. This head sculpt doesn't separate from the neck like the Mark III's. It's a single piece. The rolling eyes can be adjusted from the back of the head. When attaching this head, you need to put the neck collar first. The light up feature hasn't changed, still using button cell batteries with the switches in the usual spots. For the armor accessories, you get two styles of arm pieces, one with open armor look and one with missiles. The shoulder cannons are the same as the Mark III's as well. Additionally, there's a set of newly designed armor pieces for the chest with 3 parts, and bunch of small pieces for the legs. One really cool thing about this Mark II is that the top section on the chest can flip open, giving the figure an awesome exposed look. These pieces don't have any articulation joints, but they can be attached pretty easily. This appearance is original to Hot Toys, but it does look super awesome. The 4 leg armor pieces can be removed and replaced with the internal structure parts. These have 6 magnet points for attaching the outer armors. Just easily attach them all and you're all set. These internal pieces have a mechanical design, but they are much simpler than what we have seen in the Mark 6 or Mark 7, mainly because there aren't as many hollowed out areas. Swap the arms, pull out the flares, and open up all the spoilers. This just looks so incredible. Lastly, the base is still the circular one. It can light up and also with metallic silver finish. And the support itself is also silver, which I believe is a first. The base has 2 large pieces and 6 smaller mechanical arms. The large ones feature a 3-color scheme with some hollow sections and a transparent part. Both pieces have the same shape. The mechanical arms are 3 short and 3 long. Each of them has several folding joints. Insert the short arms into one large piece, the long arms into the other, and then attach them to the holes in the base. Adjust the angles, and you're done. Articulations are the same as always, so I won't go into details here. Just be careful with this electroplated surface when you move the limbs and body. Overall, you can tell Hot Toys put a lot of effort into this Mark 6. The paint job has been upgraded. There's a new head sculpt, and they even made some design changes to the armor to offer more display options. The base also has a unique design. Compared to the Mark III, I personally prefer this one, and I really hope that they will make a new version for the short, stubby Mark I to make the original Iron Man lineup perfect. Alright, there you have it, the Diecast Iron Man Mark II 2.0, made by Hot Toys. I hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Remember, play with a style. I'll see you guys in the next one.